Well, hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Mr. Hunter. How are you?
I'm good, Mr. Wood.
Are you well?
I'm getting over the flu, actually.
The flu?
Yeah, the flu, like a really sore throat and phlegmy, coffee stuff. Not COVID. Yeah. I already had that, so.
Was it man flu?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. We can get Fiona to tell us if it's a man flu or not.
She says it's a cold, but it's
flu. Just got the cold. Anyway, thanks very much, folks, for joining us tonight. Absolutely fantastic. We have got two fantastic guests for you tonight. We have the one and only fiddler extraordinaire from Orkney, Jennifer Wrigley. And also from Orkney, the one and only Aidan Moodie. And Aidan's newer to the scene for us, so I'm really looking forward to chat to him too later on. So please, ladies and gentlemen, phenomenal to see how many people are watching the show tonight already. That's fantastic numbers. But keep sharing. Hit that share button, folks. Remember, we're out on Facebook, on Tartan Tunes, we're out on YouTube and Twitter, so you can watch it. So if you want to watch it in the big telly, get the YouTube version on and you can watch it from there. I don't know if you want to see me in a big telly, actually.
I was going to make a comment, but I'm not going to say it.
No. But there we go. Anyway, so what have you been up to? Anything good apart from having the flu?
Working away, working on a couple of projects that I'll discuss at a later
date. I've a new project.
You asked me what I was doing.
Yeah, I'll go on. What's your new project?
No, I'm not telling you the project. When you wait until I finish speaking, then you can tell people your project.
Come on, man. Get on with it. Tell them your project.
No, I'm not telling the project. That's the thing. But also, this is the final week of the silent auction.
Very important. Yeah, and we've got some great bids in for the silent auction already.
We do. And if you go to the Tartan Tunes. Tartan Tunes Facebook page. You'll see the video. It's pinned to the top. If you, I know a few folk have been saying that they're looking at what they can spend at the end of the month. If you have a bid, get in touch with us, and we'll work out when we request it. If you're a winning bid, it's not a kind of we want it now sort of thing. We can look at that. It's not a major issue.
So
just
in case you've just joined, folks, for the first time this week, we have on that site we've got 7 tunes for auction to be named. Davey's written 4 pipe tunes, and I've written 3 accordion tunes. Davey's wee girl Amy, who's home now and doing fantastic, was in the neonatal department in Nine Wells Hospital in Dundee for 53 days.
We'll go with yes. Can't remember now.
Yeah, but for a long time. So we wanted to raise some money for the funds for there. So we've got quite a few good bids in already. So that's really good.
Yes.
And that's awesome. Can I tell them my news now?
Oh, have you got news, Peter?
Yes, yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
I brought out a new CD this week, folks. I've got a new CD out.
That's a DVD.
Yeah, but look, look at the nice picture though. It had to be that size to get my picture on it.
I mean, wide.
Yeah, it is a CD. But it's a CD, 20 tracks. But I've done the whole album myself. I've done everything myself. So I've double tracked everything. So
it's the Peter Wood Band.
Yeah, I've got it all for one, I've called it, since I'm doing the lot. So I'm doing accordions, piano, bass, drums, the lot. So there's 20 tracks on there, and you can have it for a tenner. That's not bad, eh?
50p a track.
Yeah, it's all right. So if anybody's interested in that, jump onto my website. That's Peter Wood Music, and you'll get me there. Thank you, Davey. Thank you. Right, enough having about. Let's get a guest on. What do you think?
I think we have to get this guest on. We've been wanting to get this guest on for a while. Yep. So we are so glad she actually has managed to make time in her schedule for us.
Yeah.
From
Orkney, but at the other end of the country now.
Here's one for you. Do you know the song that goes from Orkney down to Dover? I've roamed the country over.
Oh yeah.
Right, do you know why it was Orkney and not Shetland?
Because it didn't rhyme.
No, because at that point they didn't realise that Shetland was further north. Orkney was the furthest point in Scotland that he knew.
Really?
Yep.
Do you make that
Shetland's not even part of Scotland half the time, you know what I mean? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jennifer Wrigley.
Hi Jennifer.
Hello. Hi everyone.
How are you doing?
Thank you very much for having me. Hi Peter.
Oh, wow.
Hi Davey.
It's fantastic to have you on. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've got any questions you want to ask Jennifer or that, send in your messages. Let us know where you all are as well, because there's loads of folk. It's always nice when we see where the people are and where all over the world you are. Jennifer, you've been a long, long time in Orkney, and you're not now. You're down at the other end of the country.
Yeah, I'm down in Malvern in Worcestershire. Right. And I came down about a year ago from Orkney, so it's lovely here. Sun's just disappearing, but it's warmer than Orkney.
Yeah.
Well, and there's trees.
Yeah, lots of beautiful trees, beautiful walks, beautiful trees.
So are you doing a bit of playing when you're down that area as well then? Or?
I've been playing in some of the local sessions and such, which has been good fun, and got the odd gig, and I've been teaching lots online, doing all my students. I've got some local students as well, but a lot of students online from all over the place. So just keeping busy with that.
Because of course you had a lot of that built up anyway over the years with going back to when you were in Orkney and you had the reel, etc. And there was a big teaching ethos going on there the whole time, wasn't there?
Yeah, at the reel we had, I think there were about 27 different tutors all doing different instruments, and I had all my fiddle. I think there were 6 of us doing the fiddle, and several folk doing the guitar, and with drums and flute and voice and
accordion.
And we had accordion too. And Karen Tweedis more recently moved to Orkney. You know, according's Karen Tweed, so she's there, and I think she's busy teaching too. And
yeah, we had Karen on the show a couple of months ago there, and it was great.
yeah,
But but the Reel did do an enormous amount over the years for Orkney music. So, and it's a miss, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, to the future, and as you say, you're teaching away, and it's going fine. So, what I think we'll do here is have a wee quick tune from yourself.
What's the tune called, Pierre?
Jennifer, what was the tune called again? This was. Listen, I've said this, tried to say this about 6 times, ladies and gentlemen, before the show started, and made a hash of it every single time.
Oh, you did good. It was all right.
So I'm sure you want to hear Jennifer's lovely lilting Arcadian twang, and this is just a tune to tell us about. Tell us a wee bit about the tune.
Well, the tune is one that I composed. It's called The Dinghy's How Dancers, and it's for a little mound or a how at the entrance to Darnus, which is the parish that I grew up in Orkney, which is a peninsula, almost an island. And Dinghy's How is said to be the home of the little trowie people that come out and grab you, force you to go inside and play fiddle music, and give you a drink or two when you come out. 20 or 30 years have passed.
There's always drink involved.
They're a dangerous lot, because Darnus is a dry county, so you have to make the most of it before you get in there.
So this is for the wee trowies. This is good. The trows are a big thing in Shetland as well, so it's good. So let's have the tune. Yay. Fantastic. It's a lovely sound. I love that big droney, stringy sound. Really lovely.
Thank you. Well, I multi-tracked that, so I wasn't
Yeah.
doing all of them. But
Yeah, I thought you were doing pretty amazing to get that sound around.
I was supposed to be emulating the sound of the Hardanger fiddle, which is really a big thing in Orkney, like it is in Shetland as well. The Norwegian connections are really strong.
Yeah.
So that was the sort
I
of
don't,
strings sound of it.
it's interesting you saying that, of course, but yeah, the Hardanger fiddle from Scandinavia, and it had strings underneath it. They kind of ringing, don't they, like a drone underneath the main strings. Have you ever played a real Hardanger as well? Then have you got one of them? Or?
Yeah. Well, as part of the friendship between Orkney and Norway, the Hordaland County Council gifted a Hardanger fiddle to the Orkney Islands Council, and so I think that particular tune I wrote on that fiddle, but it's available for youngsters and players and such like to use. It belongs to the people of Orkney, so it's very much like a fiddle to play. You put it under your chin, and it's got the 4 strings and the bow, but underneath the 4 strings on the top there are 5, sometimes 4 sympathetic strings that just resonate, usually tuned to the pentatonic, and they drone. And you can tune the top 4 strings differently as well, and then you would retune the underneath strings to drone in that key. It's got a dragon's head at the top, and it's beautiful ornamentation. And there were people in Orkney too that have made Hardanger fiddles across the years as well. So it's a big part of the tradition.
I remember once, many years ago, being over in Norway playing, and happened to pure chance we came across this Hardanger competition in a town one day, and there was Hardanger fiddle players everywhere. They were in the street corners, they were pavements, they were all over the place. And for the first time in my life, I kind of semi-understood what it must be like for someone, say, stumbling across a Peabrook competition or something like that. Because, because I was standing there thinking, this is all very good, but you had no idea. And it was almost like there was maybe classical music they were playing. I don't know, all the music, all the Hardanger, but extremely traditional. And it was wow. And I think it's one of these things, if you understood it, it would be really, really brilliant. It's just... But do you tune your own fiddle differently when you do a recording like that there, then? Do you drop strings?
Not on purpose.
No.
I have been known to tune it, but not as dramatic as that. I mean, there's quite a few different... I think there's 12 or 13 tunings for the Hardanger, but...
I think yourself, growing up in Orkney, though, have been incredibly lucky. The melting pot of music and genres of music in Orkney is absolutely fantastic. In fact, I think it's even more so than Shetland. And that must have been great growing up in that times with music for yourself.
We're just so lucky, really, and you know yourself that if you meet what it's like in a small place, if you meet one person that's a musician in one style, it turns out that they also play in the rock band, or they also play in the jazz band, or they also play the classical, the orchestral stuff. And so some people play multiple instruments of multiple styles, and there's very little sort of snobbery between all the different styles, which is really refreshing. And I think it's really good for everybody to do a bit of everything and to understand and respect. I mean, there'd be something wrong with you if you came from Orkney or Shetland and you hadn't heard the accordion or the fiddle, because it's just, it's everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just something that's there. But I do find going on to Orkney that it's really healthy music scene, and the festivals are fantastic in Orkney. You've got so many festivals.
Yeah, well, goodness, so do you in Shetland? Just about every weekend. In the past.
But when you look at like I said, you've got the Science Festival and all that sort of stuff. We're going to speak about that a bit later on as well. But you've got a lot of festivals, right through the Stromness Shopping Week, right, different things, and then the harvest homes and the agricultural shows. It's really good. There's a so much going on with music.
Yeah,
So when you
you
started
would
off,
think that we'd have a bored kind of life that we'd have nothing to do.
I know. So where were you brought up in Orkney then? Were you brought up?
In Dernis,
Uh,
but at first, when it was very pretty, we lived in Stronsey for a
okay.
few years, and then we lived in the town in Kirkwall, and then Dernis, and then more recently I lived in Orfar and in Harry, so all over the
Okay.
place. Not fussy.
Yeah. I loved when you say Harry there. There was the Potter. There was a guy that was a Potter in
Oh
Harry,
yeah, Harry
and
Potter.
I
Yeah.
loved when he used to advertise he was the real Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. That was
Yeah.
brilliant. But so when you were growing up, what took you into music then? How did that start?
Well, I was at school. I was at the school concert in primary school, and all the kids that were a bit older got up to play in the school concert, and they all had fiddles. And I was sitting on my mum's knee, and I said, "Mum, I want to play the fiddle." And then on my 8th birthday, and of course with my twin sister Hazel, her 8th birthday as well, we were both presented with a fiddle and a guitar for our birthdays, and that's what we set off playing that, and
That's
I
amazing.
got lessons at school, and then when I was learning at school, brilliant tuition at school, but it was sort of quite classical, just sort of
Okay.
this is how you play. And I got involved with the Orkney Strathspey and Reel Society when I was maybe about 12 or 13, and that was just fantastic. It was full of all these amazing old traditional players,
Yeah.
and that's where I learnt the traditional music, and you know that kind of personality that you get from people like that you don't get off the CD, do you?
Yeah.
Well, apart from your
It's good
CD,
because
obviously.
the Strathspey Real Society in Orkney is highly respected, aren't they, for these?
Yeah.
And they seem to be very welcoming to youngsters going along and playing and things.
That's a brilliant thing about it, and they were the Orkney Strathspey and Reel, because there is the Westmain and the Strathspey and
Well,
Reel as
that's right.
well.
There's the two, isn't there?
Yeah,
Two.
the Orkney Strathspey and Reel were formed in 1948, so they have been going a long time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
nearly all well respected and well kent fiddle players and accordionists in Orkney over the years have been members of the Orkney Strathspey and Reel.
Well,
It's just been, it'll invite anybody and everybody. It's not like we're going to have
Yeah.
a big arrangement and you're going to do a solo and then there's going to be a break. It's just tune,
Yeah.
Yeah.
tune, tune, and it's all about the rhythm and the drive and having fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. We're down playing this year again at the Orkney Folk Festival, and last time we were down, the Strathspey Real Society, now you've told me there's two, I don't know what one it is, but one of them's having a concert in the afternoon. And the last
It'll be
time
the
we were
West
down,
Mainland, yeah,
is it West Mainland?
I think
The last
so.
time we were down, we had to do a spot at their concert with the band, and Andy and I we kind of got rid of our band, and then we just went and joined in with the Strathspey Real as well, and sat for the rest of the concert having a tune with them, which was fantastic,
Yeah.
And they were great. I always remember the old fellow looking at me and saying, "There's the music, are you wanting it or no?" that was it. And I said, "Well, we'll try." But we had a great afternoon. It was really good. The next wee track we're going to have, Jennifer, is something that's a fantastic story for you, Orkney now, isn't it? The story of John Ray.
Yeah.
It's a big story. I'm not going to ask you to tell the whole story, but enlighten the folk at home just a wee bit about this one, because it's an air you wrote for.
Yeah, so John Ray was an explorer from Orkney, and he worked for the Hudson's Bay Fur Trading Company, which of course a lot of Orkney men went to work in Hudson's Bay because Stromness in Orkney was the last stop off, if you like, for the boats going across the Atlantic. And John Ray was a doctor, and he started mapping parts of northern Canada. And while he was doing that and working for the fur trading company, he got involved in the search for Franklin's lost expedition. While he was looking himself and mapping the Northwest Passage, so he found by speaking to some Inuit people that Franklin's expedition had foundered, and that some people had been seen walking away from the boats trying to get to safety, and this is the bad part, that he had witnessed, the people had said that there had been cannibalism involved. And John Ray apparently had reported back to the Admiralty to say this, and his report made it into the paper. And in the paper it said about the cannibalism. As far as I understand, his letter was never meant to be made public, but it was. And it started a smear campaign from Lady Franklin, who said that John Ray was a liar and that this would never happen. And basically he died in Kensington, I think, being branded a liar, and he never got the recognition that he should have done. And he was, in fact, the missing part of the Northwest Passage is a little piece of water called Ray Strait that John Ray actually named, and he never got recognition for that either. There he is.
There he is.
Outside the Stromness Hotel. He was famous because he worked and became friends with the local people, so he knew how to live off the land, and he was well known for, walking. They walked hundreds and hundreds of miles in snowshoes, and he was the most incredible person. Anyway, John Ray had a fiddle, and it lives in the Stromness Museum in Orkney, and as part of the 250th anniversary of his birthday, they thought they'd get the fiddle out and performing, and so that's what I did. I performed on this fiddle, and then a few years later I took it down to the Greenwich Maritime Museum. I actually also played the tune in Westminster Abbey, because they did get a plaque for him in Westminster Abbey, and I played the tune in there, which was really amazing. And then I played his fiddle at the opening of this exhibition about John Ray in the Greenwich Maritime Museum.
It must have been petrifying to take that fiddle out and hope the glue hadn't dried out and it fell to bits in your hands or something like that. It would have been a nightmare.
I know, it was really, it's a museum piece, and so when you got it in your hands, it may as well be a 5,000-year-old piece of stonework or skull or something. You have to treat it with the same kind of respect, and so it's been nerve-wracking. But at the end of the day, it's just a fiddle, and I think John Ray treated it he would be treating it like a workman kind of fiddle. It was getting carted all over the place, and it had obviously been carted everywhere and been through the wars and fixed. And
well, fantastic. Here is your tune that you wrote there for John Ray. Well done. Well, the pressure was on there, Jennifer. The crowd was on.
I know. Amazing experience.
That's the very point. You did not want 250 years of old fiddle to go and fall in pieces.
It was a fragile old thing, and
You told me they had a tin fiddle. I've never seen a tin fiddle, I don't think.
yeah, there's a tin fiddle in the Stromness Museum, and we know of certainly at least 2 tin fiddles in Orkney, because there was a brilliant fiddle maker and player in Durness called Davy Unson, and he made over 100 fiddles. And his uncle had a tin fiddle that he'd made because they went off to sea a lot, and he was tired of people falling when the boat rocked onto the fiddle and breaking it. So he made a tin fiddle, which it's got a wooden neck and wooden fingerboard, but it's just made out of baked bean tins.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, for yourself, as you said, you're down south just now. Something exciting you're working on just now is the New Voices project. Is that right?
Yeah, New Voices, yeah.
Now, I didn't really know very much about this at all until I was reading your bio and you were talking about this New Voices. So you're one of 8 people to be selected out of hundreds, I believe.
Yeah. It was just one of those things. I thought, why not? I'll just apply for it. And they're based in London, Sound and Music, and they support, they pick 8 artists each year to be New Voices, and they support them over 18 months to do a new composition. And I'm in the middle of that process. I went down to London to meet some of the other artists that are involved in it, and I mean, talk about feeling out of your depth. A lot of them were doing experimental kind of rap music, and and I was sitting thinking, right, now I'm going to play a tune in the fiddle, and it was a bit different. But maybe that's perhaps why I got chosen, because to them it's something very different. But
absolutely,
But it's very exciting, and I've got this whole year to come up with something. Well, the idea is that I come up with something new, so something that's a bit different to what I would normally do. So it's really
so how's that going to be presented? And then the new thing, is it going to be like a book that you're bringing out, or is it a?
The idea is that you have any kind of output you can. Some people make a CD, some people have a concert, some people do a pilot for something bigger, some people just have a performance, some people have a tour, so you can do whatever you want. I'm still in the process of working out what I'm going to do, but I would imagine at the end of it, it's most likely going to be either an audio CD or an actual performance of this piece. So it's I've still got to write the piece.
Davy,
no problem.
No problem. Davy, we've missed out here. Davy, you and I could have been down waffling rubbish. We could have made a CD. Yeah, more so than now. We could have really waffled for arts, for the cause of arts. That's right. So, and obviously you're composing all the time, and always have been. You were composing for a very early age, weren't you?
Yes. I don't know what age I would have been when I first started composing, but it's a very natural thing to do, certainly in Orkney, and probably in Shetland too and elsewhere. But you're encouraged to write. Nobody ever says, "Oh no, you're no good, you can't do that." You're encouraged. And when Hazel and I took out our sort of debut CD, that was Dancing Fingers, we started recording that when we were 13, and it came out when we were 16. So there are pieces on that I composed. So I certainly started as young as 13, writing tunes, and nobody ever said, "Don't do that, you're no good." So it's really amazing encouragement, really, just to...
It's interesting, isn't it, how different places. I didn't realise till we had Martin Donohoe on from Ireland one night, and Martin was saying when he was younger, it was very much not a thing people did. The Irish musicians didn't compose their own stuff. They played all traditional stuff. It was very unusual to them to come to this places like Scotland, and there was all these people writing tunes, and it was kind of like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why is this? It just wasn't done that way. But as you say, in the islands in Scotland, especially North Scotland and all that, there was a lot of composition going on all the time.
I wonder if it's because you have less sort of passerbys, so you have to compose things. And people were... And also I think there was less sort of, there's the complexities of the pieces aren't as important in the old days. It was just about being able to dance to it. As long as you could dance to it, then it didn't really matter if it was a simple little tune. I mean, in Rousey in Orkney, there are stories of a fiddle player whose nickname was Pop Goes the Weasel, and that was the only tune that he could play on the fiddle, and he played it in whatever speed was needed for which particular dance. And I think that's brilliant.
Yeah. You get a wee bit boring after a wee while, though.
Not if you did enough to drink.
That's true. Very true.
I think, listen, when we're talking about composition here, I think we'll go to you at the track. You won the own composition section at the National Accordion and Film Clubs competition this year. And it's a cracking tune that you wrote as well. Tell us about
Peter, sorry, to interrupt. Who didn't win it, Peter?
I didn't win it.
Anyway, carry on.
But it's okay. It's okay. I'm so used
sorry.
to it. I'm getting used to being second, Davey. I don't think I was even second this time. Right. So, now tell us, what's this tune called?
So this is a compliment to an Orkney tribute to Dr. Edvard Kobal, and I wrote it for the Orkney Science Festival. They asked if I would write a tune for the friendship between Slovenia and the Orkney Science Festival, so it was for this special doctor from
So, Davey, you noticed I've changed round here.
What do you mean?
That's all right. Put on the own composition video.
Yes, I see that. Yes, I did. And you can see why that one won.
That's a lovely tune. It's a beautiful tune. I love going into the second measure of that tune. That's really, really nice. Lovely sound. And also, tell us, let's highlight your accompanist there.
Yeah, so my partner Lawrence Wilson, who's also from Orkney, and we grew up together playing music, and he comes from a big line of fiddle players. His dad Len used to be part of the Orkney Folk Festival at the very beginning with Johnny Mood and Marjorie Rinknetter and people like that, and his granddad was the Strathbairn leader as well over the years, and his daughter plays the fiddle as well, and he said the reason that I've come down to Malvern to be with him. So it's fantastic to have this kindred spirit to play along with, who totally understands the Orkney music. And
Well, I was just going to say that it's incredibly subtle accompaniment that he's doing there, and he's letting the lead player breathe, but also helping you along the way. I think that's the easiest way to say it.
That's how it feels. It's just very, very
nice.
natural and comfy and right.
Well done to him. It's good. But you've been playing at quite a few things already, haven't you?
Yeah, we play every week. I've got my fiddle classes online, so and they're to everybody everywhere around the world. I've got people from all over the place coming to them, and more people are always welcome if you would like to join in with the fiddle classes. On the website, that's how you can learn about more of that, and I do online one-on-one lessons. And Lawrence and I just recently were performing at Fiddle Hell which is a big online thing with 165 performances and 35 workshops or whatever it was in America.
That's refreshing to hear Fiddle Hell. It's usually accordion hell. Quite refreshing.
It's also usually harp heaven.
That's right,
Yeah, so you were doing that one. There was some famous people involved with that one as well. I noticed Troy McGilvray and Kevin Henderson and all these guys involved.
Amazing lineup of players of all different styles. So it was really a very big honour to be asked.
And I know Mary Rankin was on. Mary's been on the show too.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So any plans for things that are coming up? Any projects coming up?
Yes, I've got me new voices, which is fairly time consuming. I've been working on my new tune book. Lawrence and I are busy with the classes and such like, and then in June there we've got a free lunchtime concert in Worcester in St George's Church, and that's I've got that written down on the 15th of June. So there's information about that on the website as well. So
fantastic.
Right.
And then all your albums and all that sort of stuff is available on your website for folk to buy.
Yeah, you can get a link from there to the other sites, and that'll. And
great.
There's a tune book as well that you can purchase as a download, which has got tunes in it too. So I'm hoping to get Edward Cabal and John Ray and such like into my new tune book, which I'm working on. But Dingy Tail Dancers is in the old tune book, which is available.
Well, if you would keep us in touch when your book's coming out and we'll mention it to all our listeners.
Thank you very much.
I have to get a hold of one myself and play the tune.
Well, make sure of it.
As long as they're not too difficult, because I'm not.
Not
some of these hard fiddle tunes on the accordion.
Well, yeah.
I can say the same about accordion tunes because they're not always compatible to the fiddle.
That's right.
You're right.
It's funny, isn't it? There's just certain tunes. Somebody told me the Tusker's quite difficult to play apparently on the fiddle. It's funny.
It is, yeah. It's a tricky
funny,
one.
But it's funny how these things happen. So, Jennifer, thank you so much for coming on tonight and having a wee blather with us.
Very
wish you and
welcome.
Lawrence all the best for the future, and we'll hopefully catch up in real life before too long again and see you soon. So we've had since I saw you. I saw you and Hazel playing at the. I've seen you in Orkney since then. But I remember a really good night at the Shetland Accordion Fiddle Club up here one night. The two of you. Brilliant night. Absolutely magic night. Because the two of you worked so well on stage. It was great banter and crack. And
Sibling rivalry.
Sibling rivalry. That's it. Jennifer, thanks very much. We're going to finish off where we track tonight, and I'm going to let you introduce all this ones as well, Jennifer. Mind it was the ones we spoke about.
Ingeness. Ingeness. Yeah. So this is a set of tunes that we both learned off a brilliant Orkney fiddle player called Hugh Youngster, who was just a real character, if you know what I mean. And the first one he composed called Ingeness, and it's for the beach just outside Kirkwall. And then it's the Strand, which is a sort of pedestrian walkway which goes from Broad Street, where the St Magnus Cathedral is, all the way up to the council offices.
Yeah.
Some people say it's like sort of like the Strand. It's like a fashion boulevard for the council
yeah.
office workers. And then El Adam, can't remember whether it's El Adam and the Strand or the Strand and then El Adam, but El Adam is the third tune, which is also a Hugh Youngster tune. All Orkney tunes.
Jennifer, thank you so much again for coming on. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. And thanks, Davey, too, and thanks, Peter. And
no, thank you.
Well done for keeping the show going.
Everybody said, what a brilliant guest you've been. Fantastic.
Yes, agreed.
Super. Here's Jennifer with wee sections. You take care.
Thanks, bye.
Bye-bye.
And welcome to our next guest. Who's on? You're on mute, Aidan.
Hello, both of you. Nice to be here.
How are you getting on?
Very good. Yeah.
That-
Just sitting back, relaxing, enjoying that set of tunes. So.
Yeah, that was a cracking wee NSL there then. Nice.
Yeah, I love that. The Strine, that's one of my favourites. So.
I've literally just remembered this. Myself and Aidan have met.
Oh yes.
Do you remember, Aidan? Do you remember?
What state of repair was I in this meeting?
You played at my wedding. you were playing for the Bell Rock in Dundee.
That was Bell Rock. I was like, hang on a second, I don't remember doing any weddings. That was a really good. Was that your third wedding or your fourth wedding, Davey? I can't quite remember.
My first wedding.
I thought you were going to say it was when you were busking in the street somewhere or something.
Oh,
was it? Or Celtic Connections, some drunken affair there.
Well, there you go.
I think it's because you're slightly more informally dressed on this occasion.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes, and about 2 stone heavier. But that's the story. So, Aidan,
that was a great time. Was that kind of when things had just kind of started getting?
It was. That was back when they were allowing the band no longer counted as the number of guests.
I see.
It was literally that week. It was yourself and Josie.
Josie and I think Callum Edwards was on the drums and there was Hamish on the snakes and stuff. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that was a good time. Yeah.
And I've never seen Hamish so kind of glassy-eyed when he's seen who was in the audience.
Yes, I got a great laugh out of that. I've got to be
honest. Because of course, Peter, I was lucky enough to have Mr. Stuart Sampson as my wedding piper.
Yep.
And Fred Morrison as a guest at the wedding.
Yeah, it's a bit of strain to put on somebody that, isn't it?
It was funny. I did ask, like who's the piper for Bell Rock, and they're like, oh, we're not sure yet. I was more to give my heads up than anyone else who was going to be in the audience, but I tried. That's right.
Exactly. The look on his face, I'm not sure he got much. But
so, Aidan, of course, you're originally from Orkney as well.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, the Orkney feature tonight.
See it, and you went obviously been to the conservatoire to do the BMUs. Take us right to the very start. What got you started in music and trad music in general?
Well, I think when I was growing up, there was such a wealth of trad music going on in Orkney. Really, I just got involved with it because all the people that I happened to be friends with were doing it, and that's what we ended up doing after school. We went to a music thing run by the Wrigleys at the Reel. We did some like Strathspey and Reel stuff there, and there were some after school groups and things. And then when we were about 13, 14, myself and a group decided to make a wee band and kind of had a go of it, and we ended up competing at the Orkney Folk Festival's open stage, going doing the Celtic Connections and playing at the Danny Kyle there, and it all just kind of went rolling. So yeah, there was just so many opportunities to play really great music with a lot of great musicians in Orkney growing up as a teenager that I just kind of fell into it and just kept falling into it, and that's what I'm doing now. So
yeah.
So what was your first instrument?
First instrument was piano. My auntie Heather is the organist at the cathedral, so she taught me piano from when I was about, I think, 9 or 10, that kind of thing. And then for whatever reason, I'd always taken a notion that I wanted to play the saxophone. So if you can picture that, that was my second instrument. So I think that's the logical progression, isn't it? Piano, saxophone.
Well, my Piri girl, Piri Lass Grace, wants to be the first woman on Mars playing the saxophone, she tells me. So.
That is the greatest ambition I have ever heard. And I wish her every success in the world.
So
I can get a niche saxophone side, but not the moon side, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I'm not sure how well a saxophone works on the Mars right now. But,
more research needed, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, more research.
So when obviously you finished school in Orkney, and then you went down to the bright lights of Glasgow.
That's it, yeah. Big smoke.
So with that, what was your main instrument in Glasgow then?
Main instrument in Glasgow was the guitar. I kind of started playing the acoustic guitar in secondary school about age 13, 14. And by the time I left, it was kind of what I was spending most of my time with. But I, of course, started with a dual study in acoustic guitar and Scots song. That was kind of what I did throughout my time at the conservatoire. So yeah, I think I moved into Glasgow in 2014 and then graduated 4 years later in 2018, which is it feels like no time ago, but it's a good few years back now. So
exactly. We're actually going to just jump straight into a video, and it's your track "Welcome."
Oh yeah, great.
Do you want to tell us a bit about this?
Yeah, totally. That was a song that I came up with just on one of those long days in lockdown. Decided to put something out under my own name for once, just to kill some time, really. So it was Ewan White. He's a fantastic producer based in Glasgow. Met up with him, brought the song to him, and we just kind of had a lot of fun with it. Ended up being quite contemporary sounding, but yeah, really chuffed with how it turned out. So.
Right, great.
That's awesome.
Hear the morning bringing in the rain, 7th time this week. Life's rusted wheels straining to spin, same song on repeat. Pack a canvas bag, pack it again, empty out the chest. Chase a change of view to clear your head. Hitched a ride out west. We drove for hours more, trying to find somewhere to go. And the road sang welcome, leave it all behind. And the road sang welcome, leave it all behind. Leave it all behind. Heave his shimmers on the breeze. Concrete turned to waves. Remember how we wished the time would freeze, only for a day. Thinking of the times we used to meet, drinking cheap red wine. Summer stretched as far as we could see, sunset crowned your eyes. And we didn't want to leave, but the road sang welcome, leave it all behind. And the road sang welcome, leave it all behind. And the road sang welcome, leave it all behind. And the road sang welcome, leave it all. Leave it all behind.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I love that last shot of the cow there. I always forget that's there.
To be fair, if my wife's actually watching tonight, she'll enjoy that last. She loves Highland cows. I say loves. She's obsessed by Highland cows.
Nobody would. It's
You know,
That's fantastic.
a very quick story, but considering you being from Orkney and you know Sandwick Hall there, Aidan, we were playing there once and we were doing a wee concert and it was all going very well, but the cows actually come up and look in the windows at the side of the hall when you're playing because the field's right next to it. And we couldn't stop laughing when our fiddler decided to play a slow air when the cow turned around and put its butt to the window instead of its head. That brought the house down.
make of that what you will.
Never worked with children and animals and all that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
I was just thinking, Pierre. I think Grace will be quite disappointed playing a gig on Mars.
Why?
There's no atmosphere.
Ding.
Sorry. So You've
Imagine
since kind of moving to Glasgow and getting you're mainly known as a guitarist and as an accompanist to some of the kind of the bigger names on the kind of the vocal and band side, because you play with Nos and you also play with Manran.
Yes, yeah, kind of.
That's relatively new, isn't it? Playing with Manran.
Yeah, well, it's new and it isn't. We're always joking about it because I joined the band.
See, I told you, she's happy.
Sorry. Bonus points there. You're welcome, Fiona. Yeah, I joined Manran at the tail end of 2019, the very end, the very last month. And of course, we got one string of gigs, basically. A few got about around February, and then coronavirus. So we really didn't get off to a running start. So I've been part of the band making music as part of Manran since what's that? Is that just over 2 years now?
Yeah.
We've barely gigged, me and Kim still feel like the new recruits. So we're getting a bit more of a run at it this time. But if you still see us rabbit in headlights, that'll be why. So
I'm looking forward to that because we're catching you at Keith Festival with Manran. I'm going to point at that one as well, so that's going to be good.
That'll be great in June. Yeah, I've not made it to Keith Festival, but I've got some friends in the northeast that say.
Neither have I. I've never been either. So.
Hey, well.
So it's fine. It's all good.
We'll have to share a dram to toast our first trip.
Just have to see if Davey's allowed to come out to play for a weekend.
Do you know what? It's a hell of a drive from Dundee to Keith.
I know, but we're worth it. We're worth it, though. We're all going to be there. We're going to be there, so it's worth it.
I need to ask the wife.
It'll be 6 hours, no bother.
Yeah.
So, on that, if we get a track from Manran, can you pronounce the track for me, Aidan? How's it called?
This is Alan.
Alan. Is it Alan? At least that's quite easier to say. Did you know the story behind the track?
I don't know the story, the literal story, but it's a melody composed for the band by Misha McPherson, and it's the second single that we took out from our album that we just put out. So we're really glad to get some time to actually make some music with the new lineup, kind of write some stuff, and this is one of the ones we were more chuffed with. So.
Right.
Hello. Let's have a listen.
Very good. Big sound, big sound.
The man ran driving sound you expect from a band that does festivals as if they're running out of fashion.
That's good.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a few festivals this year, aren't you? With Man Ran, a few big
we're
gigs.
do a few between Scotland and England. I think we're doing Belladrum, we're doing EDF, we're doing Keith, as you were saying, and we're doing a few others as well. We're off to Germany for one, and I think we're off to Belgium for one as well. I've got them somewhere, just not at the tip of my tongue.
You're also playing as part of Mr. Indus's Huli at the Hydro, I believe.
Yes, now that's going to be quite a night. Yes, that's it. That's one of those gigs that you don't even really put on the bucket list because you don't really think about it.
Has he got a compare yet? Has he got the compare thing sorted out? Mind they were saying, who do we want to compare?
Send your application in. I'll get you email. I'll ask Gary. I'm sure I can put in a good word for you.
Yeah, tell him, or else I'll see him at Keith.
You'll get absolutely hiding.
I could be the guy standing at the back pulling the mains plug out.
That's the most
Have you got a shepherd's crook to use to get it back up?
Yeah, we're having some trouble sourcing those actually. Brexit issues. But hopefully, so yeah, that's Saturday the 17th of December. I think last.
I love it.
Should be great.
That's a gig that you wouldn't think to do it. You know what I mean? It's probably the biggest kind of biggest organisation to get a gig is to do a Ceilidh in the Hydro in Glasgow.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Like a fever dream made reality.
It
should be totally magic. There's a lot of folk getting behind it already, and we've got folk booking flights over to see the night and stuff. Wow. So I think it could be quite a night to remember. So
Davey, I've done a gig in the Hydro.
Have you?
A Ceilidh, yeah. With Colin Jure's band about 25 years ago. Oh no, it's longer than that. When was the Glasgow Garden Festival?
Can I stop you there? The Hydro's not been there that long.
Oh, what am I thinking of the SEC? That's what I'm thinking.
I was going to say Gary's whole shtick is that it's not been done before. The whole evening.
Debunked.
Oh,
imagine that conversation. Imagine Aidan going, Gary, this has been done before.
No, but what I remember playing with Colin Dure, because I was playing at the Garden Festival in the afternoon and just walked across the bridge to the next gig, which was quite cool.
Oh, aye. Yeah.
That's it. What I have noticed as well is Man Ran are coming to Forfar in December.
Yes, that was a gig that was supposed to happen. Yes, we're coming to Cullen Music Festival as well. We've got a whole pile of stuff coming in. We're playing in Inverness again, I think, at the tail end of the year, and a whole brew of stuff happening at the tail end of December. It's kind of, there's things that have been postponed from 2020 that are still being rescheduled. Yeah, so a lot of gigs were really fun.
Yeah, it's great to see, like I said, it's great to see the gigs kind of coming back. But as we mentioned off air, it's becoming a bit of a logistical nightmare for a lot of the festivals, booking bands and bands that have got members who play in multiple groups to kind of go, right, okay, we've got this festival. Well, I'm not available that now. Oh, but we booked it 2 years ago. Yeah, but we've now got that gig going.
Totally, yeah. And I think that stuff was tricky enough before COVID, you know, with that on top, it's just a complete nightmare.
Yeah, I think whatever gigs the audience can get to, they should get to, because I think even the musicians and yourselves and all that will be so excited to be playing to live audiences again.
Oh, it's just something else. Yeah, it really is.
Exactly.
It's that kind of thing where you know that you miss it, but then you don't know how much you miss it until you get back in front of a stage for audiences.
And one thing I'm finding that playing it live, there's still a wee bit of uncertainty with some people in the crowd, especially older people. They're maybe finding it still a wee bit unsure about it. But I was playing a gig last night and it was just all go again. It was just madness.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
just madness.
Well, I think since the kind of the mask regulations as well, that's been a bit more kind of relaxed, and folk are like, you know what, we're going to have to live with this. We might as well kind of crack on.
And you can totally understand why folk are hesitant, but it's nice to see just a bit of excitement kind of coming back.
Absolutely.
Exactly. As mentioned, you're also playing with Nos, and you're the singer for them as well.
That's it. Yeah, that was a band. Yeah, that was a band that me and my pal Graham, who's also from Orkney, Graham Rory, we started that
Yes.
a good while ago now, when we just moved into Glasgow, so 2018. Yeah, and that's still
Yeah. We had Graham on the show end of last year when his album launch.
I think he was saying, his Arcadians of Hudson video. Yes, totally, yeah.
That's the one,
He's
yeah.
He's just a new album just this week, actually, with Rory Matheson of Farah.
Yes.
We Have Won the Land. So, yeah, it's funny that you should mention that, yeah. It's
a good kind of... the music coming out of Orkney is very much up there in the trad world at the moment.
Oh, okay.
No, that's fine. Nice of you to say, David. Nice of you to say.
Rory Matheson was one lucky guy as well, getting to join an old girl group.
I don't know. Have you met those girls? I don't know if I'd say lucky.
We've had two of them on the show.
Kristen,
they're great. Yeah, I love Farah.
And Gina. But I noticed when I'm down playing at Orkney Folk Festival this year, they're up doing a night in Mariel concert in Lerwick.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, that's kind of bad timing, but there we go.
Stay away from you, Peter. Is that what you need to tell him?
Gee whiz. Wait till he leaves the island and then we'll go for a good night. And Manran is also Alan Monroe's point at Sky Live.
Sky Live.
Yes, that's exactly. I think it's the opening concert of Sky Live on the Thursday night, I think. So that'll be fantastic. I've played in Sky a couple of times, but I've never got to Sky Live. So that'll be...
Is that the Gathering Hall?
I wonder, actually.
I'm sure. The Gathering Hall used to be the place for all these big bands.
Yeah, that's what we normally do our New Year hoolie.
Oh, awesome, man. Awesome place. Awesome.
Totally.
We played a gig at... What's the pub across the road from the Tongadale that's upstairs?
I'm not sure, actually.
We did a gig there before. That was a bizarre gig. Bizarre night and shit. Bizarre night in Sky. We're going to play an Austria. We're going to play The River. Tell us a bit about The River.
Yeah, totally. That was another song that I got together in 2020, and we recorded at Scottwood's studio, Oak Ridge Studio, and released as, I think it was the first or second studio single from our new album it's not so new anymore, but we put it out almost exactly a year ago. So yeah, that's The River.
Can I ask before that, what does North mean?
It can mean whatever you want it to.
I just wondered if there was some secret definition or something.
No, just look inside your heart and you'll find the answer.
Right. Keep the comments coming in as well, folks. Keep the comments going in. We love seeing where you all are. It's brilliant.
Just to make folk aware that it's Peter doing the comments right now, so let's make him work for it. Here we go. Here's another.
There's a girl I wish I knew better, that spends the spring growing sunflowers. Summer comes, she gives them away. No, she can always grow them back again. There's a conversation she's tried to keep in the forefront of my mind, saying hard dream doesn't mean the clouds will stay. Knows I won't listen much anyway. I won't listen much anyway. See the water, feel the wind blow. The river never flows too slow. The river never flows too slow. See the water, feel the wind blow. The river never flows too slow. The river never flows too slow. You see the water, feel the wind blow. We go out to the forest when everybody else is asleep. Lay low between the evergreens, pine needles underneath our feet. There's a road that winds round the coast, there's always next year. There's always next year. See the water, feel the wind blow. The river never flows too slow. The river never flows too slow. See the water, feel the wind blow. The river never flows too slow. The river never flows too slow.
Well done. Super.
Brilliant.
Great. Great stuff.
Pardon me.
Phew.
The,
How bad, Davey? Come on.
Don't die and live on air.
Come
Or
on,
something.
better than that.
Jeez, so.
You might get 125 quid from you being framed if I do that.
Kenneth McKenzie there. Kenneth's put out an album out just recently as well. Kenneth says, excellent sound, so refreshing. There you go.
Cheers, Kenneth. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we recorded that over a week or so in December 2020 at Scott Studio, and it was just so nice to actually put ourselves to something creative. You know, it's been such a long time without anything, so I think we all had a wee bit more time to kind of mess with ideas and kind of make some new sounds and stuff. So yeah, it was really nice. Look back on that quite fondly. So.
Yeah.
Also, with releasing the album, you've not really had a chance to kind of play it live, have you?
Yeah, that's the one downside. Yeah, we put it out in May last year, and then our first run of gigs was in August. We did a little outdoor thing down in England because they were a bit more lax about stuff then. But we're finally getting on the road. This next week, actually, we've got a wee run of gigs in England, and then we've got a couple of things in Scotland. We're playing one show at the Glenfarg Folk Club, one show in Edinburgh at the Traverse Theatre, hosted by the Sandhouse organisation, and then we're going up the road to the Orkney Folk Festival, which will be my 10th Orkney Folk Festival, and we're going to do two gigs in a row, but they're both sold out, so you can't get a ticket for those anymore. But we're looking forward to
I'll see
a bill with Peter Wood, you see, so of course it's going to be sold out.
I'll see you there as well. I can't wait. This
That'll
is
be my
great.
hell of a night. Barcy.
This is going to be great fun. We're going to have an absolute session.
Totally.
I can see.
So-
Davey, you coming to Orkney?
What?
Coming to
It's a
Orkney?
fair drive from Dundee, to be fair.
Do you know what? I've driven to Orkney to Dundee. That's why we did our honeymoon, and we did. We went Skye, Uist, Lewis and Harris, back to the mainland, up to Orkney, and then back down the road. That was yes.
Nice.
Karen and I's honeymoon was also in Orkney at a folk festival,
Yeah,
sharing a single bed in a youth hostel somewhere. It was real class.
True romance.
You take
Well,
the
we've
gigs
done
where you get them.
It was the year we done the Isles. What do they call it? The gathering thing.
Oh, yeah. Was it the Inter Isle thing?
Yeah, we done it with Shetland and Orkney, and
Yes.
Orkney came up here, and we went down there, kind of style thing, and it was in the Picky Centre around Kirkwall. That one actually was huge.
Aye, yeah.
It was nearly filled the Picky. It was amazing. It was just some.
Yeah, I heard about that one. Yeah, that would have been great.
It was a good one. Yeah.
Aye.
Good
So
one.
what's next, Ian?
What is next? We are busy writing with NOS at the moment. We're looking at our next album, which we're really excited about. And like I said, in the immediate future, we've got these gigs. So if you fancy coming to see us live and you're based in England or Scotland, go to our website. It's nosmusic.com. And then all sorts of gigging with Manran as well. And we're just going to see what happens with other bits and pieces. There's always something around the corner. So.
And can people go on these sites and get links to buy the albums, etc., and all that from there?
Yes, there's links to buy our albums. We just brought out a couple of T-shirts with NOS for the first time, and there's links to buy gig tickets and everything. So if you just have a wee gander on either of those sites, you can get physical copies of music and merchandise for both bands. Man,
There's another question.
James Moodie, the fisherman, doesn't ring a bell straight away, but if it's a Moodie from Orkney, there's every chance.
There's a good chance. Yeah. David dying again.
Apologies.
That's it, yeah.
The within your own kind of career, Aidan, what is it you'd like to do yourself? Is there any kind of anything on the bucket list? Anything on the kind of any band you'd love to play and join playing guitar in the future, or any kind of bands in the past that are no longer around that you would love to have played guitar with?
It sounds really cheesy, but I've kind of ended up doing exactly what I wanted to do. I've always wanted to make a living from playing the guitar and gig into folk. So I kind of got rid of a musical bucket list years ago because I feel like I've done it.
Gary, he says man, yeah, that's what he meant. Yeah, that's good.
I mean, it was any point. Needed to make rents, and somebody came knocking on the door. So.
Well, that's it. Because of course,
Exactly.
Peter would love to have played with ABBA back in the day.
I would have.
I thought you did actually. I heard.
No, they dropped me.
Those fiends.
Yeah.
Known for that.
It was all going so well. It was going so well, and
That was the death of ABBA, I hear. In another life, I would have liked to have been like a grunge rocker, like a kind of, I was a metalhead back in the day, so I think that would have been cool. But there's still time, Aussie's still going, so maybe in my twilight years I'll pivot.
I was hearing on the radio the other day, it's completely unrelated, that they're doing a biopic of Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah,
and it's the same crew that did Rocket Man.
It's like
So
it's a different main character, but
yeah, same sort of idea, kind of that sort of storyline with music put into it from the back catalogue.
I would be well up for that, definitely.
Well, I believe they're looking for an Ozzy Osbourne character.
I'll see if you get the cruise number, I'll see if they do one for me as well. Maybe
it's a very short one. It's only like a couple minutes long.
Miniature thing.
But Aidan, I know you've got something else to do tonight as well. It's brilliant that you've squashed this in to be with us.
No, yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been great.
Thank you.
Absolute pleasure. Yeah, looking forward to seeing you in Orkney already. Seeing both of you.
Aye. We've got Orkney first and then Keith, and then we'll try and not fall out at Orkney, and then
we'll be sick of you in the summer.
So what we're going to do,
you'll have heard my 3 tunes that I know by then.
3 now.
I have got 3. I've been practicing. I've been worked hard this week.
He's got an album. They mentioned he's got an album out.
I've got an album out this week. Yeah.
So it's just different keys.
No.
Yeah. We've got one more video for you, and we're going to kind of play out with that for yourself. From Norse, it's the Peary Fool.
Yes, that's it. I thought we'd play out in a tune, like a more upbeat one. This is one of the ones that we always kind of end up finishing a gig or finishing a festival slot with. It's written by Graham, and it's named after a pretty grim Orcadian adaptation of, I think it's like Jack and the Beanstalk meets the Princess and the Pea. If you put the Peary Fool and the Princess into Google, you get a great website, Orkney Yar, and you can learn all about the folklore. But it's kind
how did that happen then? Because usually in Orkney they say Petey, don't they, rather than Peary?
I know. I really don't want to comment. I feel like I could get in trouble. So,
but also in Kirkwall, the little sea there is called the Peary Sea. It's not called the Peary.
Yeah, it's peculiar. I wonder if back in the day there was more of a bleed between these
Pearys and Peaties.
Words, because I really don't ever hear any Orkney folks say Peary nowadays. It's a very distinct Orkney Shetland thing. But like you say, there's Peary, PDC, and all sorts.
Very interesting.
Someone will know.
Yeah, somebody will know.
So, on that note, Aidan, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for being so accommodating with them.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been great. Really enjoyed it. So.
And like Peter said, he'll see you soon, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Yeah,
so we're going to finish off with the Peary Fool, and
you wouldn't miss me. I'm hard to miss.
I hope not. Well, we're playing the same gig, so it'd be strange if it
is. There's not many things that I can hide behind.
I'm out in the Highland Park, maybe. We'll find something.
Great.
Great.
All the best, my friends.
Cheers.
Bye for
Thanks,
now.
boys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Aidan. See you.
What a drive. What a drive.
Very good. Really nice music, eh?
That's a nice picture you've got on your right, over your right shoulder.
That's just the window.
Is it? Very
Yeah.
pretty.
Just looking outside. It's just... Yeah. I noticed, I think there was Northern Lights last night when I was heading home for the gig, actually.
Don't let Fiona hear say that.
Well, the whole sky was all green right up north.
Yeah, that'll be right then.
Yeah.
It was great to have them both on there. As folk are probably aware, it's a slightly shorter set for each, but they both had other engagements, arrangements.
Well, I think that's the thing with the show now. I mean, people are starting to get gigs again, so we're accommodating and we play around that. But it's just great that we can still come on as well. But we've got loads of guests right up to about July again, haven't we? So
yes,
we're doing well.
Some fantastic, and we're still booking more now. So
and I got confirmed I'm getting to go to Uganda for a week to play at the end of November.
You're going for a gander?
No, to Uganda. Oh. That's going to be interesting with the old accordion and pipes and see what happens.
Do you know how to play the pipes?
A wee bit. You can get by. Fiona's just put on. She's moving to Shetland. She says.
Bye.
Yep. Fiona, you're most welcome, and you quite often see it all the time. Actually, it's quite amazing when you see the Northern Lights. Lovely. There was one time a couple of years ago. It was just the whole sky was just all different colours for ages. It was amazing.
So, referring back to the start of the show, this up until this coming Saturday is the last week of the silent auction for the neonatal unit. There are 7 tunes that are currently nameless, 4 from myself, 3 from Peter, in various styles, mine are mainly pipe band stuff, but they will work well with accordion, fiddle, etc.
And various disguises.
And as I've said, all money will go into the neonatal unit in 9 Wells, Dundee, and we just hope to kind of raise as much as we can for them to thank them for the work that they do and that they have done for my daughter Amy, who has been crying throughout this show, but with these noise cancelling headphones, I've not been able to hear her. So,
oh well. But no, it's great, and we've got some really nice bids in already for some of the tunes. So
yes,
it's going to be quite a substantial amount that we can thank you guys for raising out there for the neonatal unit. Really good in this day and age to be able to help anybody we can whenever we can.
Because as we mentioned before, we do this for absolutely nothing, no profit whatsoever, and that's it. We have some fantastic guests next week, and I don't think Peter's checked his notes to see who they are.
I know we've got Rhiann Matthew from Aberdeenshire, the fiddle player. Rhiann's an up-and-coming young player, very, very good. And her mum is Heather, now Anderson, she was, and her uncle's Paul Anderson. So she's from a pretty...
Is that Paul Anderson, MBE?
Paul Anderson, MBE, yeah. I noticed, congratulations to Paul. I see he got presented his MBE by Prince Charles. And
Prince Charles came to him.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
That's. I think Prince Charles was looking for a holiday, so he came up to Aberdeenshire to do it.
Oh, there's Kenny McKenzie asking when my new album's officially out. It was supposed to be the 27th of this month, Kenny, but the first batch has arrived, so it is out new. And I will send you one, Kenny, because I've got one of your tunes on it. So I've got Marie McKenzie's Welcome to Caberfay on the album. So
Caberfay.
But if anybody else would like one, jump onto my website. That'll be good.
And what is your website, Peter?
It is purewoodmusic.co.uk. Says the dog who's about to fall asleep.
Yeah, well, the other thing. Yes, so and the other guest next week is Peter Morrison of the band The Peat Bog Fairies.
Wow, yeah, I'm looking forward to that chat.
He is from the Isle of Skye.
I saw the Peat Bog Fairies up here in Shetland one night. They were on tour and we got tickets and went. They were awesome. That was amazing.
They are awesome. Because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a Shetlander playing with him still.
Yep. Ross Cooper's
the fiddle player. And previously, it was Adam Sutherland, who is also a guest we've had on.
That's right, yeah. But an awesome band, just high energy. Wow. Oof. So I'm looking forward to that. That's great. So we've got Rhiann, Matthew, and...
Peter Morrison.
Peter Morrison, yes. You just said that.
It's late at night. It's
time I went to my bed, isn't it?
Well, exactly.
There we go. There's Ian. Ian Jackson saying he's looking forward to getting his CD. It's in the post tomorrow. Ian, I'll put them in the post tomorrow morning. There we go. The post office is going to be delighted to see me again.
Not you again.
Yeah. Do you really want a receipt for this? I love it.
Yes, I do.
That's it. Anyway.
On that note.
Thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, again for joining, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much to Jennifer Wrigley and Aidan Moodie. Great guests. Really nice to have Orkney represented like that in one show. Fantastic.
Not on purpose either.
No, we done it purely. It just happened. I'd asked Jennifer and you'd asked Aidan. It was funny that we ended up with all Orkney. So
on that note, just before we go, in May we've got a really great show that the guests know each other, but they don't know they're on together. So that'll be great.
That's fantastic. This is going to be really funny. This is going to be quite amusing.
So,
okay, take care,
we'll see
folks.
you next week.
Thank you.
All the best.
See you soon. Bye-bye. Bye.